وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا وحبيب قلوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين، سيما سيدنا ومولانا الإمام الحجة ابن الحسن المهدي المنتظر، عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف وسهل مخرجه وجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه. With another character, another leader, another honorable lady who contributed a great deal to Islam and to mankind. And this lady is non-Arab. She was not raised in Arabia. She is the daughter of the king, the Sassanid king of Persia. Some people say his name was Yazdegerd, or the Arab, they say Yazdegerd, the third. He was the king. And this lady, also she has several names. Some people name her Shahrbanu, some people name her Shahzanan. So she came to Medina, and I'm going to tell you how she came and why she came. We've been told through various historic sources that these were three sisters who came to Medina. They were taken as prisoners of war, and they were brought to Medina. And one of them married to Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr. Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr, his biological father is Abu Bakr, because he was married to his mother Asma bint Umays. But his spiritual father and his mentor and his teacher is Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib, because Abu Bakr, when Abu Bakr died, Muhammad was a baby, was only 2 years old. So Amir al-Mu'mineen married with Asma bint Umays, and this is after the martyrdom of Lady Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam. He married to Asma, and then he had to raise Muhammad. So Muhammad is the spiritual son of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib. He was adopted by Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen. He was taught, and therefore he was with Amir al-Mu'mineen. And Amir al-Mu'mineen loved him like his own son. So one sister married to Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr, and she delivered a baby boy. That baby boy was one of the scholars in Islam, Al-Qasim ibn Muhammad ibn Abi Bakr. They say the second sister was married to the son of Umar ibn al-Khattab. Umar ibn al-Khattab has a son called Abdullah. So she was married to him, and she delivered Salim. Salim, the son of Abdullah, the son of Umar ibn al-Khattab. And the third one was chosen by Amir al-Mu'mineen, al-Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib, for his son, al-Imam al-Hussein, to marry her. In fact, it was her choice to marry Imam Hussein. I would tell you the story. You know, after and then she delivered al-Imam Ali ibn al-Hussein Zayn al-Abidin, alayhi salatu wassalam. Imam al-Sajjad, Imam Ali ibn al-Hussein. After the departure of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the Muslims, during the reign of the first caliph, they started to expand the geographic area eastward and westward and northward too. So in the year 11, immediately after the departure of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the first military excursion was sent to Iraq. Iraq at that time was part of the greater Persian Empire. At that time, Iraq was not an Arab country. Neither the original language of the people in Iraq was Arabic. It was part of the Persian Empire. And the capital at that time was a city of Al-Madain. Madain is nowadays, is a historic ancient site which is close to Baghdad. Close to Baghdad. And it hosts the grave of one of the greatest companions of the Prophet by the name of Salman al-Farisi, Salman al-Muhammadi. Because Salman was the governor of Iraq during the time after the departure of the Prophet. Salman was the governor of Iraq, and he died and he is buried there. So his shrine, Salman al-Farisi, Ridwanullahi alayh, is at Al-Madain. I was a child when they took us school trip. I think we were first graders, second graders. I still have a picture. They took us by bus from Karbala to visit this ancient site. Beautiful. You can still see the remnants of the old Persian palace in Al-Madain. So the Muslims, they sent their military excursion to Iraq to fight against the Persians. Started the year 11th. And on year 14, they were able to conquer Madain. In the year 16, Madain became part of the Islamic country, the Islamic society. And then again during the reign of Umar ibn al-Khattab, from year 21st till year 23rd, there were many other military excursions in Iraq at that time, which was part of Persia. Some of these military excursions, the grand one of them is named Al-Qadisiyah. Qadisiyah today is the name of a city in southern Iraq, which witnessed one of the biggest confrontation between the Arab army and the Persian army. And then the entire Iran or Persia accepted Islam by year 23. Very fast. Very fast. Why it was very fast? The journey of Islam in Iran, and please pay attention to this point, very critical point. It was fast because most of the Iranians accepted Islam without war. Most of them. Only a few of them resisted Islam. And those few who resisted Islam and they did not like it were only the rich people at that time. The rich people, they feared for their own interests, so they didn't like Islam to come into their territory. Whereas the rest, the vast majority of the Iranians, they accepted Islam out of conviction and out of love and out of understanding. Love, not just for the Prophet ﷺ, but for his family. One of the reasons why Iranians loved Islam, because they witnessed the justice of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib. Ali was a man who never discriminated against anyone, never judged people because of their race. Never, ever. Never put the Arabs before others. Ali ibn Abi Talib will abide by this book. This book, chapter 49, says, the best race among you, the best color among you, the best culture among you is those who have piety. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. And this was the policy of Amir al-Mu'mineen. So people were enchanted by him, they loved him because of his justice. Because he never favored, he was not a racist leader. He was a just leader. A leader that respects all people, regardless of their language, regardless of their color. This is why Iranians were attracted to him. Unlike others, in particular Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan, who divided the society into caste society. The Arabs are the priority. Arabs consider them to be first-class citizens. They have the priority. Non-Arabs who were known at that time, the non-Arabs were known as Mawali. This was their name. Anyone who was non-Arab was Mawali. He didn't care about them. He didn't care about them. He discriminated against them. So Islam had a beautiful journey in Iran. Within only 2 decades, the entire Iranian nation accepted Islam, out of conviction and out of love. Only few who resisted, and those few, at the end, they had to surrender. And this is why, my friends, again, pay attention to this point. If you study Islam without prejudice, you will find the vast majority of ulama, the scholars in Islam, are Persians. I'll give you an example. In the Sunni tradition, we have 6 important muhaddith, or a transmitter of hadith. 6 important books in the Sunni tradition. They depend on 6 important books. All those 6 authors, all those 6 scholars are Iranians. All of them. I'll mention their names. Bukhari from Bukhara, at that time was part of the Iranian Empire. Muslim ibn al-Hajjaj al-Qushayri al-Nayshaburi from Naysabur. Second one, Muslim. At-Tirmidhi from Tirmidh. An-Nasa'i from Nasa', which is close to Shiraz. Ibn Majah al-Qazwini from Qazwin. And then Ahmad ibn Hanbal, Imam Ahmad from Maru, from Khurasan. He was born in Maru. Imam Ahmad was born in Maru, born and raised. Maru is part of Khurasan, part of where Imam Rida is buried. He was born in Khurasan, but he was raised, he raised and he died in Baghdad. So all those 6 leaders are Iranians. And this proves to you that they really loved Islam. A person would not become a scholar of Islam if he doesn't like Islam. When it comes to the Shia, it's the same. In the Shia tradition, we have 3 scholars who wrote 4 important books. We have the book of Al-Kafi, written by Shaykh al-Kulaini. Kulain is a village north of Tehran. I've been to that village, small village, still exists today, Kulain. He's from that village. Then we have Al-Shaykh al-Saduq, originally from Qom. And we have Al-Shaykh al-Tusi from Tus, which is Khurasan. So Sunni and Shia scholars of Hadith, 100% are Iranians, Persians. You come to the madhahib, Sunni madhahib. How many madhab we have in the Sunni tradition? The most popular ones are 4. There are others, of course, but those are the most popular. 2 of them are Iranians. Abu Hanifa al-Nu'man ibn Thabit. He's born in Kabul, and Kabul was part of the Persian Empire at that time. And Ahmad ibn Hanbal, Imam Ahmad, again, who was born in Khurasan, in Mar, part of the Persian Empire. Abu Hanifa lived in Kufa, and he's buried in Baghdad. He has a shrine in Baghdad. Al-Imam al-A'zam, they call him. The area is called A'zamiyya in Baghdad, and his name is Al-Imam al-A'zam. Abu Hanifa, Nu'man, and the student of Imam al-Sadiq. Ahmad ibn Hanbal he lived in Kufa, Ahmad ibn Hanbal. In fact, Abu Hanifa in Kufa, Ahmad ibn Hanbal in Baghdad. So they were Iranians. If you come to tafsir, the most important books of tafsir were drafted and written by Persians. The biggest tafsir in the Sunni tradition is Al-Imam al-Razi. Mafatih al-Ghayb. He's Iranian. Then Al-Baydawi, Iranian. And who else? Tabari from Tabaristan. Tabaristan is part of the cities that on the Caspian Sea. Tabaristan. Today, Amul and these cities are part of Tabaristan. Tabari is also Iranian. Zamakhshari. Zamakhshari also, he's a well-known mufassir of the Quran. Naysaburi, another well-known and popular mufassir. First-class mufassirin in Islam, in the Sunni tradition, are Iranians. Same thing with the Shia mufassirin. In the contemporary mufassirin that we have, contemporary meaning the last few decades, Sayyid Muhammad Hussein Tabatabai, Ridwanullahi alayh, one of the greatest thinkers in Islam, and he produced Al-Mizan. Originally he wrote this book. He's Iranian. He's from Tabriz, but he wrote the book in Arabic, and the book was translated to Farsi and some part of it to English and other languages. So this tells you that they really accepted Islam wholeheartedly. If a nation accepts Islam by force, they don't become scholars. They don't study Islam. If religion is enforced on them, they don't like it. But this is the biggest proof that when scholars, the Sunni scholars and the Shia scholars of fiqh, jurisprudence, tafsir, the exegist of the Quran, the hadith, philosophy, Mullah Sadr al-Shirazi, the biggest Muslim philosopher is Persian, 400 years ago. He's from Shiraz. Mullah Sadr was from Shiraz. So those scholars, philosophers, theologians, jurists, 90% of them, they were from that part of the world. It breaks my heart when I listen to Arab leaders meeting in Mecca during the month of Ramadan. The last 10 days, the holiest nights, where they should speak the truth. They should be honest with their Lord. They are sitting in a place that overlooks Masjid al-Haram. They can see from their windows, and they issue a statement, 11 points. All 11 points, they attack Iran based on prejudice of Al Saud, the hate of Al Saud. This is where Muslims reach today. With some mercenaries, you can write them a check and buy them by their conscience. And 11 point, all against Iran from A to Z. And yesterday the Israeli army invades Baytul Maqdis with their shoes. Look at the pictures today. With their shoes, they enter inside the mosque. People are doing i'tikaf, staying at the mosque the last 10 days of Ramadan, worshipping, reading Quran, praying, and they beat them up. They kick them out of the masjid with their shoes. This happened because Arabs are weak. Because Arabs are fighting the wrong people. They are not fighting the real enemy. So, let's go back to this leader, Shahrbanu, who some historians say she came to Medina during the reign of Umar ibn al-Khattab. Most of them say this. After Islam came to Persia, they were taken as captives. Some people, very small portion, believe that they came during the reign of Uthman, and some believe that they came from Iran to Medina during the time of Amir al-Mu'mineen, alayhi salatu wassalam. So we have 3 different stories. But mostly people believe that they came during the time of Umar, when Umar was caliph. So they brought them as prisoners of war. Umar immediately decided to sell them in the market. But Amir al-Mu'mineen was there. He said to him, Ya Umar, our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Akrimu karima qawmin. When people are honorable in their communities, in their societies, in their countries, they come to you, you have to honor them. Akrimu, from ikram, from respect. You cannot sell those women in the market. Inna banat al-muluki la tuba'. Beside the daughters of kings, they are not for sale. You have a problem with their father, but they are not guilty. You have to respect them. Amir al-Mu'mineen said, my share in the ghanima, I will forego my share. Banu Hashim, the family of Amir al-Mu'mineen and the Prophet, when they heard Imam Ali saying this, they said, we too forego our share. We don't want ghanima. Most of the people in Medina, when they saw Amir al-Mu'mineen and Bani Hashim, they released their share. They don't want to take it. They said, we also release our share and we forego our share. And therefore Umar had no choice but to release those captives who came from Persia. And then some of the Sahaba were interested in marrying them. So Amir al-Mu'mineen says, خَيِّرُوهُنَّ وَلَا تُكْرِهُوهُنَّ. You cannot marry them by force. You like her because she's a beautiful, she's the daughter of the king, and immediately you can't. You have to give her the choice. خَيِّرُوهُنَّ. خَيِّرُوهُنَّ means give them the choice. وَلَا تُكْرِهُوهُنَّ. Don't force them to marry any person. Nobody has the right to marry them by force. They have the choice. If they want to get married, whoever they want to get married, they choose. So they proposed to Shahrbanu. She refused. Many people came, asked for her hand. She said no. In a session, she saw Imam Hussein. She said, I am interested in this man because I saw him in my dream. When I was in my father's home, in my father's palace, in my country, I saw in a dream that I am going to see this. I saw this face and I knew that I am going to marry this person without even knowing him at that time. I did not recognize him when I saw him in my dream. After many years now, I see him right in front of me. I realize that this is the grandson of the Prophet of Islam. So she chose Imam Hussein. And Imam Hussein married her. And out of that marriage, blessed marriage, came our fourth Imam, Al-Imam Ali ibn al-Hussein Zayn al-Abidin. Now some people, they accuse the Shia, they say, do you know why the Shia, Iranians are Shia? Because their Imam, fourth Imam, his mother is Persian. Can you imagine? But they forgot that also the son of Abu Bakr married an Iranian. The son of Umar ibn al-Khattab married an Iranian. So this is not why Iranians are followers and lovers of Ahlul Bayt. It is because they saw the truth. They saw justice and they followed the truth and justice. They fell in love with the family of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They saw that Ahlul Bayt are the embodiment of fairness, of justice, because at that time justice was difficult. To achieve justice, it was not easy. There was corruption, there was bias, there was discrimination. So when those Iranians and non-Iranians, when they saw the justice of Ahlul Bayt, the goodness of Ahlul Bayt, the fairness of Ahlul Bayt, they fell in love with them and they followed them. And out of that marriage, we have one son, and that son was Al-Imam Ali ibn al-Hussein Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, al-Sajjad. And this name was given to him by his grandfather. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam named him Zaynul Abidin, the ornament, the attraction, the beauty of the worshippers. Abu al-Aswad al-Du'ali, one of the lovers of Ahlul Bayt, he loved Imam Ali. He says about this incident, the birth of Imam Zayn al-Abidin, he says, وَإِنَّ وَلِيدًا بَيْنَ كِسْرَى وَهَاشِمٍ لَأَكْرَمُ مَنْ نِيطَتْ عَلَيْهِ التَّمَائِمُ. A baby that comes, one of his grandfathers is Kisra, the Persian king. The other one is Hashim, the grandson of a Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That baby really deserves to be celebrated. لَأَكْرَمُ مَنْ نِيطَتْ عَلَيْهِ التَّمَائِمُ. And who is Imam Zain al-Abidin? وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَنْ هُوَ زَيْنُ الْعَابِدِينَ. An Imam that even his enemies, they surrender to him. The crown prince, Al-Walid ibn Abd al-Malik, he was a crown prince, Waliyul Ahd. He came to perform Hajj. The season was very crowded. He tried to reach the black stone, Hajar al-Aswad, he could not. He tried again, second time, he was pushed back. The third time, huge crowd. So he gave up. He stood at one of the corners, watching the Hujjaj. All of a sudden, a young man comes, enters the haram. Immediately, people, they open the path for him. He has no guards, no entourage, no bodyguards. So he knew him. He knew who this man was. But out of arrogance, he said, "Man hada? Who is this young man? I am the crown prince with all my guards. Nobody could open the way for me. I could not touch the black stone. And this man comes very easily. People honor him. They bow down before him. And he reaches the black stone very easily. Man huwa?" Farazdaq, one of the greatest Arab poets, who sided with Ahlul Bayt, always with the truth. Immediately, subhanallah, God inspired him with this, the most beautiful Arabic poetry. هذا الذي تعرف البطحاء وطأته والبيت يعرفه والحل والحرم. You say, "I don't know him." You don't know him? The house knows him. The Kaaba knows him. Safa and Marwa know him. The entire mosque know him. Islam knows him. God knows him. You claim that you don't know him? هذا الذي تعرف البطحاء وطأته والبيت يعرفه والحل والحرم. And it's a long poetry. من معشر حبهم دين وبغضهم كفر. If he comes from a family that when you love them, this is deen. Deen is summarized in the love of Ahlul Bayt. And when you hate them, this is exactly kufr. When you reject them, this is polytheism. You are rejecting God. So the caliph was even more angry because this poet embarrassed him. So he said, "Isjunuh, take him to jail." He ordered, they put Al-Farazdaq in a jail in an area between Mecca and Medina. That area's name is called Asfan. He was put in a jail. He was jailed because he praised Ahlul Bayt. He praised Imam Ali Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam. So this lady lived with Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. She was raising his son Ali ibn al-Hussein. And Imam al-Sajjad is, all our Imams are great. But when you read Sahif al-Sajjadi, how many of you read Dua Abi Hamza al-Thamali during these nights, the nights of the Sahar of the month of Ramadan? Abu Hamza's name is Thabit ibn Dinar. This is his real name. His nickname is Abu Hamza al-Thamali. Imam, without writing anything on a piece of paper, spontaneously recites a dua. Abu Hamza writes this dua. And you can see this dua. It's an hour long by one person without preparation. What does that tell you? It tells you that this person is really in love with God. He sees nothing but God in this universe. As his grandfather said, "Ma ra'aytu shay'an." Imam Ali says, "Ma ra'aytu shay'an illa wa ra'aytu Allah qablahu wa ma'ahu wa ba'dah." Nothing I see in this spirit, in this life, unless I see God before it, with it, and after it. Ahlul Bayt, they see nothing but God and God's majesty and God's love and God's mercy. Those are Ahlul Bayt. It's enough for us to prove the greatness of Ahlul Bayt and Imam Zain al-Abidin, just to have one dua. Dua Abi Hamza al-Thamali. This is the product of this good mother, Shahrbanu, who comes from a royal family, Sassanid family, Sassaniyin, and from a good father, Imam Hussein alayhi salam. If you want to know the contribution of Iran to Islam, there is a very important book that I read probably 30 years ago, written by a very honorable and well-versed scholar. His name is Sheikh Murtada al-Mutahhari, rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh, great man. He wrote a book in Farsi, خدمات متقابل Islam و Iran, the exchange of contribution between Iran and Islam. He says both enriched each other. Islam enriched Iran and Iran enriched Islam through scholars. Those who studied Islam, they became first-class scholars. This is an enrichment to Iran, even until today. But we don't hear this in the media, because media is biased. Media belongs to the establishment. They don't speak the truth. They don't speak the truth. And it's all about politics. So this book, I don't know whether it has been translated to English or not, but is a very, very, very valuable book. It is 3 volumes. I read the 3 volumes many years ago. And it tells you how Iran contributed through their culture, through their knowledge, through their schools, through their leaders, to the enrichment of Islam. Not just scholars, people who donated money, people who established institutions. In every way they contributed, and also Iran contributed, also Islam contributed into the enrichment of the Iranian nation. This lady, we've been told by some sources that she lived and she died in Medina and she was buried in Baqi' during the life of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And Imam Hussein was very saddened by her death. For some reason she died. Some historians believe that she died while she was given birth to Imam Zayn al-Abidin. Others believe no, she died afterwards. So we don't have, knowledge about the exact story. So this is a story that believes that she died in Medina and she was buried in Baqi'. Another story says no, she lived and she went with Imam Hussein to Karbala. And she was with him in the land of Karbala. And after the martyrdom of Imam Hussein, she came back to Medina, but then she refused to live there. And she went back to Iran, to a city called Ray, today's Ray. And she died there, and she's buried there. And if you go to Ray, Ray, today, you can find a maqam, a place which is named after her, Shahrbanu. There is a maqam, they believe that this is her grave there. Rahmatullahi ta'ala alayha. May Allah bless you all, inshallah. May Allah protect you. Tomorrow, inshallah, Monday, we will be with you. We don't know whether tomorrow will be the night of Eid or not. If it is Eid, then we would tell you. If not, then Tuesday again, we will be with you, inshallah. And we will do Salat al-Eid either Tuesday or Wednesday, inshallah. We will let you know by tomorrow this time. We will have, even before this time, we are able to tell you about the exact date of the Eid, inshallah. Allahumma aghfir lil mu'minina wal mu'minat wal muslimina wal muslimat al ahya'i minhum wal amwat. Tabi' Allahumma baynana wa baynahum bil khayrat. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا. Please, we have a friend, very dear friend in the community, very honorable friend, who's having a surgery tomorrow, Monday, tomorrow morning. Please recite these verses with me. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء 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 أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. يا الله من على مرضانا بالشفاء والعافية. اللهم المريض المنظور أنقذه وألبسه ثوب الصحة والعافية والشفاء عاجلا ببركة الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل